Good evening everyone, and a warm welcome to Mystery Monday here live on Facebook, and thank you if you are catching the replay or have subscribed to my YouTube channel and are watching it there. My name is Lucia Visentin and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. Thanks for joining me. Love having you about. As you pop on, do say that you're here and where you're from as well. Would love to know. Hope everyone had a lovely weekend. We had a very quiet weekend this weekend. Starting to get a little bit organised down in the craft room. So hopefully there might be a little bit of movement next weekend with the plumbing. So that will be good. So once we've got the plumbing done, then we can get the builders in to finish off the room, which will be lovely. So fingers crossed, but you know, we'll touch wood, something like that. Hopefully it all gets done. So what is happening? One thing I did want to remind people is, if you are placing orders with me, when you do place an order, don't sign out as a guest. Do actually log on and create an account. And when you do create your account, do be sure that you opt in for rewards. Because if you don't opt in for the rewards, you will actually miss out on getting your bonus. And I really don't want that to happen to anyone. So please be sure that you do that. Good evening, Anita, Fiona, and hello, Vicky. How are you? I think when you do, if you already do have an account, when you place your first order, since we've changed over, which was the 20th of last month, there will be a window that will pop up that you can opt in to the rewards. So like I said, do be sure that you do that so that you do receive all your rewards. That would be really good. Like I said, I would hate anyone to miss out. Hello, Glenda, how are you? The other thing is, I do have some boxes of new catalogues. So anyone that would like one, do let me know. Any of my customers that have ordered within the last 6 months will receive one anyway. And I will send some others out to you if you would like. I'd had something in my head just then and it has just disappeared. No idea. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought completely. The other thing I did want to mention, that's what I wanted to mention about the new catalogues, is that they don't actually start, they don't go live until the 6th of May. So like I said, I will be posting out the catalogues, but you won't be able to purchase anything unless you're a demonstrator until the 6th of May. If you are a demonstrator or would like to become a demonstrator, you can actually pre-order things that are in the new catalogue. Hello, Lisa. Lovely to see you. And hello, Natalie. Welcome home. And hello, Joan. How are you all? So that's the new catalogue. The other thing I just want to give you a little heads up about as well is Stampin' Up have gone a little bit more into scrapbooking. I'm not a big scrapbooker. I've only done a couple in my whole lifetime, as in books, and that's it. But I did enjoy the things that I have done. Would have been a lot better had I have known about Stampin' Up when I did do my scrapbooks though, because everything would have coordinated, which is what I really found hard doing when I was doing them. So there is a scrapbooking virtual album retreat that will be on. And like I said, it's not for a while off. It's not until, it goes for 3 days, the 17th to the 19th of July. It is worldwide. So in Australia, it starts at 6 a.m. and goes till 2:30 p.m. As we go along, I will give you more information. You can't purchase the kits until the 28th of May anyway. But like I said, I will give you a lot more information about all of that as we get closer to the date. But if there's any scrapbookers out there, it sounds like it's going to be an absolutely awesome retreat as well. So something that's definitely worthwhile doing, I would think. We might turn over and I'll show you what I'm going to use tonight. We're using Storybook Moments. And I am going to use some of the designer series paper. And I am using one particular sheet as well. So this is the suite, the Storybook Moments suite. Now it is a huge suite. It's got 2 stamp sets, it's got 2 sets of dies, beautiful embellishments and ribbon, and 2 lots of designer series paper. So the designer series paper tonight that I'm going to be working with is the one with all the, not the plaid, the one with all the pretty pictures on it, which is all almost a little bit Beatrix Potter looking. So with this one here, the whole suite is $273.75, but you get a huge amount of product in that. What I'm working with tonight is $29, the papers. So you can just buy the papers. And the page I am using is this one here, which I've cut a little bit of the bottom off. So today I have actually made a whole heap of cards using all the little bits on this paper. So what I'm going to do firstly is show you some of the cards I have made. And like I said, it was really quick and easy. Some of these cards don't even have sentiments yet. So we've got the little ducks at the top there. We have this one here, which was this little one in the corner. Like I said, I have used them all. I won't even show you on the paper which ones I've used because I can go through later and show you. And all the little bits that I've got from on these cards are all from the die cut pieces, which are also in with those designer series paper. So I have just used pretty much designer series paper on here. A couple of them I have used the plaid designer series paper as a mount. Okay. And a lot of them are actually following the same layout as well. So I've not even changed layout, which has made it super easy and super quick to make all these cards as well. And then we've got this one. So the ones that I haven't used as yet is this one here. So that's the one I actually might need some help with later on because I'm really not sure what to do with it. But I'm sure I will have some people that will be able to give me a hand. And then I'm also going to use this one here at the top and this one for the card we're making tonight. Okay, so I will pop all of that aside and we'll get the bits and pieces I need for the card tonight. So I have got a card base, which is the length of the paper to 29.7 centimetres by 10.5. And then I have scored it at 14.85 and 7.4. So I've got a little Z fold card there. And then I've got all my little bits and pieces. So let's just grab them all and I can show you what we're doing. So these are all my bits. This is my card. And this is what I'm thinking of doing. So I have this piece here, which will become my background and will also become where I'm going to write. We'll pop that there with a little bit of a white border around it and my little sheep. This is the other little piece from the, so this piece here is from that designer series paper as well as this piece. So this one, I've just got a little bit of a white border top and bottom of that piece. And we'll sit him there. And that will actually be on the inside of the card. So that's going there. And then we might do a little bit of blending on this and emboss it, and then put some other little bits on this one here as well. So we might actually start back to front with this one. We'll start with the inside first and build it that way, I think, and see how we go. But like I said, it was really lovely playing with all of those papers and being able to make all of those cards so quickly as well today. Like I said, because I have done a very similar layout for them all, that did make it quite easy then to get them all together, which was great. And sometimes you just need some really quick cards to give away as well. The other thing you could use them for is a gift. So you could actually pop them in a little gift box as well and actually gift all those cards. You would probably have to make your gift box, I would think, because it actually ends up being quite a thick little layer of cards. I might go that way. Didn't realise that was different on both sides. So there you go. It's only just got the tiniest of white borders there. So yeah, like I was saying, it's actually quite a thick little pack of cards. So you're sort of looking at 2.5 centimetres plus this one. So I reckon you'd need a box of about 3. Now, I was actually really pleased with my day today. I got heaps done. Don't usually get that much done in a day, not card making at least anyway. But like I said, that's how easy it is putting these cards together. Good evening, Rochelle. How are you? Hope you're well. Congratulations on your anniversary as well. Rochelle has been a demonstrator for 10 years. So well done. It's definitely a huge milestone. I'm not really sure why I only did the border top and bottom with that. Probably because I wanted to see more of the paper, I'm not sure. I cannot remember. Like I said, it's just a fair bit of just sticking down initially, and then we can play with that front of the card. Okay, so that's all inside our card now, all done. And like I said, as much as that's inside, that will be a little bit of the outside as well. So we'll pop him there. It's just a little butterfly, but we'll do that later as we're sticking everything on. Okay, so I've got my white that I'm going to pop here. And I did cut a little bit of this just to pop down the side. But what I was thinking was I might just do a little bit of blending in this bottom corner, and I will also emboss this piece as well, just to give it a little bit of oomph, a little bit of something, a bit of texture. Now I've probably got a fair bit of old olive on here already. Good evening, Michelle, how are you? Hope you're well. Yeah, we might need just a little bit more, I'm thinking. I don't tend to wash out my brushes because I figure you're always using them with similar colours anyway. And like I said, I'm only doing that corner because I am going to have that there as well. And a little bit of this will be covered with my other sheep. So let's just do that. Close him up. Just going to get these out of the way a little bit. And I have got my, I can never remember what it's called. It's the brick embossing folder. I'll pop him in there. Close him up, and I'll just grab my cut and emboss machine. Oops. We had my whole tower tumble then. So we have plate number 1 and plate number 4. Putting my embossing folder in with the fold first. And roll him through. Now I don't know what side. I actually like this side better. Do you know what? Let's emboss this side. The embossing will be a bit different now because, and I can show you the difference as well, because this will emboss all the raised bits more than the whole lot, but it will actually give a nice effect. Sorry, I was just looking at it, and one's sort of embossed and one's debossed. So the side that I actually had was the debossed side, and I actually prefer this side a little bit better, where the brickwork, actually the joints are sticking up, which is probably technically back to front in reality, but I actually do like that, so we'll keep it on that. And I will stick this down the side. You can see by the back of this, I had to use the other side of that beautiful piece with all the bits on it. That's okay. There's 2 sheets in every pack, so it doesn't matter. And again, I've just got a little bit of a white border on both sides of, on the 3 sides of that. So we'll pop him on now, and then we can start building a little scene. On we go. I know there's a few people who will actually be receiving these designer series papers shortly, because this is what we're doing for our next class. Now, sorry, one of my lights has just gone out. Let's just see if I can turn it back on again. I hope that's still bright enough. I can't seem to get the other light on. Okay, so now we've got all these little bits and pieces. So we have our little fence, which is just the perfect size. I have my sheep. I might actually put her behind the fence actually. So let's get a bone folder. Oh, I have to get it out, Michelle. I actually really enjoyed playing with it today and creating, just like I said, a ton of cards. So we'll pop her there. Just going to get some little and big dimensionals, so then I've got some options. I'm only going to put dimensionals down the center of her, just so it keeps her rounded. So then the top can sit up but the sides can come down that little bit. And we'll also manipulate the little fence a bit so it goes over as well. So pop her up there. Then, like I said, with this we can actually give it a little bit of shape so it sits over her. So we might go the other way. So like I said, you can always just manipulate your little bits of your little die cuts. I just don't want heaps to come out, but might even put that little bit behind her as well. So like I said, this is now just creating a few layers. I might bring that out a little bit and I can cut the edge of that from behind. So we just come to the back of the card then. Pop him there. Then just going to, I would love to see what you do with this, sweet Michelle. Maybe Lex Live. So let's turn him over. And like I said, just by giving that, I don't know whether you can tell, but it's just got a little bit of a dip in it as well, which is nice. So then this one here we might just pop on dimensionals, and I might just pop the dimensionals at the bottom of it, and we'll see how it sits over that fence. We need a little bit of glue on the top. We can pop a little bit of glue still on that. But you know what? I think that's actually going to sit okay. I don't think I'll worry too much about putting any glue on that. Like I said, then we have, doesn't really look like a, it's a male sheep. It's not a ram, is it? Doesn't really look like a ram, does he? I think of rams with horns. Hello Renee, how are you? Hope you're well. And again, I'm just going to put dimensionals down the center of him, just so it still gives him that little bit of form. Like I said, it's not heaps, but it's just going to give him a little bit of shape. Like I said, and if I feel that like his little cane needs a bit of glue or a smaller dimensional, we can still do that too. And do you know what? I won't put it on a dimensional. I'll actually put it flat to the card. Ha ha, Rambo. You're so funny, John. I'll just put a little bit of glue behind that. And stick him down. then in with all of those bits and pieces. Like I said, there are heaps. Like I have used a ton of my bits. Like I said, I've been playing with it all day today, but I still have a ton of pieces left. And I've used a lot of these for a class as well. So like you can see all my holes in there of what I've used, but these were the bits I was also going to play with. Like I've done, like I said, there's just stuff all over the place. I did try actually cutting round my little ram, so I didn't have the white around him, but he kind of blended into the green a bit much. So he did look better with the white around him anyway, so I did leave that. But like I said, look at all these bits I've still got left. Like I could still make a ton of cards. Like I could still do, I will make some more cards and some really quite simple ones, and show you how else you can use them too. Because if you've got it, you really do want to make the most of it, I think. If you've got the designer series paper, that is. So, one little butterfly. Don't know what way up to put him. Okay, and the other one's over here. I'm thinking I might have a little bit of greenery to put on that side as well. Let me see what we have. I've got this little one here. Do you know what? Instead of putting it at the bottom, I might just pop it at the top here, because I can actually have it overhanging a little bit too, which is quite nice. We could actually pop that butterfly down there, because then what I have done, and I have used this set heaps. I don't know what it's called because I've misplaced it. I always do this, I use things and then I can't remember where I've put them. I think it was Simply Said is the stamp set it comes from, but I've got no idea where it is. But the happy birthday is all joined, so I have actually stamped it and just cut that in half as well. And again, that can actually come off to the side a little bit too, because it's not going to get in the way of anything. I just want to see. How it's going to look. Let's redo that. Okay. Okay. So has anyone played with this sweet yet? I think John probably did ask, because it is quite a cute little sweet. And for those of you that haven't played with it and that are doing our class is actually on the 11th of April. So it's still a little while off. But because I sent everything snail mail this time, I wanted to send it off a little bit early just to make sure you all had it. And it didn't get there late. Don't like things being late and not getting to you on time. So super organised. So for those of you who have just ordered the PDF, that means I will have the PDF in plenty of time for you also to get organised and have your bits and pieces cut out, which will be fantastic instead of the Friday of the class. How's that? And then if we do that kind of thing with our happy birthday, I'm thinking, and I might do the happy birthday on dimensionals as well. Everyone's very, very quiet tonight. It's been a big weekend, obviously. So here we go, our little happy. Might just put it so it butts right up against that white. Like that. And then the birthday, I only want dimensionals on 1/2. Oh, fantastic, Fiona. I would love to see your card. I'm sorry, I haven't even given you any measurements tonight either. Only because I made so many cards, I actually did not have any measurements written down. So how's that? I might just get rid of all of those bits because we're not going to use any of those now. But the other thing that comes with this are these antique pearls. So we might even just use a few of those. Stunned. Yes, I'm sure they're all stunned. I hope you like it at least anyway. And you know what? I've got one old one and one new one, and my new one, my little lock mechanism works so much better. My old one is getting a little done, a little bit loose. We'll do that kind of thing. And do you know what? We might just leave that up there and leave this other side quite plain, I think, because there's the guy on that side. I don't think he doesn't need too much embellishing, I don't think. So that is my little card. And see, Anita, my inside is definitely done with this one. We were chatting today, and I was saying when Anita first started watching me, the insides of my cards were never done. I was not an inside decorator at all. Could probably pop something there, but I don't think I've got anything, like apart from real garden-y things, unless I fussy cut round some flowers or something. Do you know what? We could just really, really quickly, because that's got a similar colour in it. Let's see what else I've got here. There we go. Here's a piece that I cut up for a whole heap of thank you cards. And I have a whole heap of flowers left on this one. So let us find a flower that matches her dress a little bit better. And like I said, it's only little, so it's not going to take up too much room. And we'll just quickly go around this. We know I do go a little bit quiet when I'm cutting. And he is a little bit small, this one. Sorry, I hope you can see. Not that it's very interesting, but there you go. And then we've just got something, I just feel like it was just a little bit empty down there. Yeah, you're right, any excuse to fussy cut. I do love a little bit of fussy cutting. And like I said, it's not a huge deal to put on there, but I think it will just get rid of that empty little space at the bottom there. And like I said, just bring in the colour of her dress a little bit as well. So there you go. You can still write on the inside of that, so that gives you plenty of room to write. And you've still got quite a pretty little card. And like I said, this piece here and this piece here were the two pieces from that sheet that I have used. So we're looking at that one there and this one here. So out of that, I think I actually made 9 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus, and I've lost it now, that piece that here we go, that piece I didn't use. So I still have this little piece here that I do need to use. So we might have to work on that one tomorrow, I think. But like I said, just quickly. Like I said, without even changing the style too much, I have just put tiny little 2mm borders around some of them. So this has only just got a millimetre showing, and I've actually used, I was going to say chopped chip. Oh my goodness, I've used early espresso on this one here. Yeah, like I said, just to get a whole heap of cards out of this one was really nice. And like I said, just those tiny, even here, those tiny little borders of colour, just to introduce that little bit of colour in it as well. So you can do heaps, and like I said, you can make them even simpler. So I think I've still got a lot of these little critters left. So I will make some more cards with these, but we might just do white like I usually do, a little bit of blending and a sentiment and not much more, because I do want to show you how you can use up most of that paper as well, because there are just so many different things that you can do with it that look so lovely. But like I said, that was my little Z fold for tonight. So I hope you have enjoyed that. Hopefully I will be on Thursday. As far as I know, there are no builders, no fences, no anything around to make a whole heap of noise. Hi Patty, how are you? This is what I made tonight. So I did only make one card tonight, but I was just showing that these are all the cards that I did make today using one of these sheets of paper from this suite. So I made 9 cards in total with a piece of paper left over. So like I said, we'll actually, that's probably a challenge. I would love to see what everyone else does with this bit of paper as well. So if anyone has got these papers, cut this one out for me and make a card out of it, because I would love to see what people do. Because like I said, I've got a little bit stuck. I've got a little bit of an idea of what I might do. And I probably won't use the whole page in its entirety either. Just as a little clue, I might do a little bit of what I was doing earlier perhaps with it. We'll see. Anyway, like I said, I will pop that up and show you so that you can see what I've done with it as well. So I hope everyone has a lovely week. I don't think I had anything else to say apart from the fact that if you are ordering, please be sure to opt in so that you do receive rewards. You'll get 10% rewards on any order that's over $35. That's providing that you've opted in. So like I said, do be sure. If you're a demonstrator, you're automatically opted in, so that's not a problem. You'll still get your 10% rewards. But as customers, like I said, be sure to opt in, please. Just so that then you can get the benefit as well. So thank you everyone for joining me, much appreciated. Have a lovely week, and hopefully I will see you on Thursday. Thanks very much. Bye.